Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone has had a great week so far and you had a good weekend. This morning's session, I think we've done something similar before, but I'm going to explain the activities so we can share some love to the people around us. When you think about the activity and what you want to do, you need to be mindful that you need to speak to your adults first to ask if you can do it, and also that you remain safe when you're doing it, because there's like things that you've got to like cards that you can send out, things you can hang on trees, but you need to speak to your adults and ask them if they can do it. If they can't do it, just improvise, do something similar. You don't have to do the exact same thing. This is just an idea for us to share some love during this difficult time, but things are looking hopeful. 17th of May, there's going to be changes in the regulations, and I'm very, very excited. And I think the end is near, so we need to just keep on going together and we will be fine. So there's four things we're going to look at today. So the first thing we're going to look at is love. So what I want you to do is, there are loads of people who have been alone during this pandemic, who haven't really had family, and they are very lonely, don't feel very loved. So what you're going to do is you're going to decorate heart-shaped pieces of paper. If you are able to laminate them, that is great. If not, you can stick sellotape around them to make it laminated. But you're going to draw little shapes of hearts. Decorate the hearts. Maybe you want to write a memory verse on it that shares some love with someone, and put some ribbon on it and hang it on. Maybe you've got a fence, hang them on your fence and write a little sign that says please take one. So someone that's walking past, they might be having a really bad day and they see this little love heart, and the back has got a very encouraging message for them, and that helps them feel a bit loved. So we can share love. And while you are decorating the love hearts and decorating them to share the love, pray a love prayer over the community, that we would be carriers of love, God's love, and that people in our streets, towns and nations would come to know God's love for themselves. So you're going to pray that while you're decorating the hearts. Cut a whole lot of little, doesn't have to be big, little love hearts. Decorate one side, and on the other side write a memory verse or something, and then make sure you put it in some form of plastic, because if it rains outside you don't want them to get damaged. But also make a little sign that says please take one, so people don't just walk past and look at it, they actually take one, and they can feel God's love from you. So that's the first little bit an activity that you can do. Obviously you don't have to do all of them, it's just suggestions. It's just suggestions to help our community feel loved and to restore what's been going on around us in the world at the moment. So the next one is about healing, and what would a healed nation look like? So think about there's countries, I've gone on about this before, where there's countries that aren't allowed to worship Jesus. They get stoned, or they get killed, or they get put in prison because they're not allowed to worship Jesus. So what would a healed nation look like? Okay, so you're going to design your own newspaper front page and stick headlines and stories over your local newspaper, and shout out your headlines as a prayer for the nation. So maybe you look in the newspaper that you might get on a Saturday, find some catchy headlines, stick them in, and write like news flashes about what a healed nation would look like. It could be something along the lines of this morning everyone in the healed nation was worshiping God at this time of the day, and this is the scene that was created. So maybe you've got like a sunrise, and there's everyone that's worshiping and praising the Lord. That's what a healed nation might look like. What do you think a healed nation might look like? So create a newspaper front, catchy article, and what you will see if it was a healed nation and they were letting the world know that there's a healed nation. Okay? And pray a healing prayer over our nation. While you're doing this, while you're doing our newspaper report, pray a healing prayer over our nation. Pray for those on the front line responding to the pandemic, and pray for physical and mental health in our nation and world, because at the moment mental health has been affected greatly because of the pandemic, and I think that's an area that needs a lot of prayer. Okay, and then the next bit, if you've done these before, there's no harm in doing them again, because it's always good to remember people and to pray for other people and to share God's love, because they can see, maybe it might be sharing with someone who doesn't quite know God yet, and when you share his love, they'll be like, oh, I really want to find out why that person is so caring and sharing so much love. What do they have that I don't have? And that's where they'll like look for the relationship with God that you've got. So the next bit is a blessing. So pray a blessing prayer over your nation, or over our nation, that people would be encouraged and provided for by God. And what blessings would you like to declare over your community? So this you can be praying while you're doing the activity. So the activity is make and write cards for some of those who bless and serve your community. So it could be your delivery man, it could be your local hospital or police station or local government building. This is where I say you need to make sure you ask your adults about what you do before you just go do it. Create a little card. They don't have to be big, they can just be little cards, and decorate them on the front. Say thank you. On the inside, say thank you to the people who are serving the community, protecting the community, delivering things in the community, and write them a little thank you card so they can feel, you know what, I've been doing all this hard work and someone has noticed it and they have blessed me with this beautiful card. A card, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be a little piece of paper that you've decorated, but the thought and love that's gone into making that card will make such a difference in someone's life. I mean, if a delivery man has had a bad day, he hasn't been able to park somewhere and he's just getting frustrated and he's running late, and when you give him that little piece of paper, that's just a little card to say thank you for what he's doing, he will have a great day, and I guarantee you that. So while you're decorating, think of all the people that you want to thank for blessing our community, and write them a little card, ask your adults to help you. If you're allowed to go out and deliver them to the police station or the hospital, speak to your adults, obviously, before you just do something like that. But that's just to share a blessing to someone else who's blessing our community. And then the last bit is a restore prayer. So if you've got bubbles, this is a good idea to do this bubble. So bubbles are a beautiful symbol of hope and joy. So you're going to release them into your community and pray for release of the Holy Spirit. And we can follow Jesus' example and pray, your kingdom come, inviting heaven on earth. So you're blowing these bubbles into the community wherever you are. If you're on a walk, if you're outside your front house, wherever you are, blow some bubbles, and while you're blowing them, praying to God to restore our community and ask for his kingdom to come. And obviously don't share bubbles with other people, because obviously the pandemic, unless it's your family and from your support bubble, but don't share blowing into bubbles with a stranger or anything. And while you are blowing your bubbles, you're going to pray a restoration prayer over the nation, for business, for education, and for relationships that have been disrupted by the pandemic, and pray a restoration of hope and joy where this has been lost. So during the pandemic, loads of things have been lost, and I think this restoration prayer can do a lot for people who have lost hope, who have lost loved ones, who've lost jobs, educations, loads of things that have been lost. So you blow these bubbles and pray that they may be healed, or things may be better very soon. So this is just fun activities for us to be thinking about other people in our nations that have been affected by this horrible pandemic that we're in, and that the little bit that we can do to share God's love. So I hope you have an amazing week. and have fun doing these activities, and remember all the people in our nation and our community who are a blessing and who we can be a blessing to. So have a great week and an even better weekend. See you soon. Bye.